Welcome to episode 3 of Bass Brawl Breakdown. Today we are going to explore a spot that looks like a city block of goodness. The real contour lines match up really close on this spot. In episode 2, they weren't even close. But this one's really cool to see how the contour lines follow the majority of this structure out here. There is all sorts of cover on this structure, and I can't wait to break it down with you guys. You have big rocks, weed clumps, ledges, sunfish beds, rock patches, gravel patches, holes in the weeds, all sorts of stuff. And this is all on one connected spot. It's an underwater point off an island, and you don't really see any of this stuff with your eyes. But you roll over it with your Humminbird side imaging and all the magic happens. The screen is so full of stuff, you don't know what you should be doing. If you should be clicking waypoints, slowing down, turning around, grabbing a fishing rod. I like to keep going and get a picture of what the whole spot looks like. And when I'm doing this, I'm always recording. You have to save the data. You bring it home, you can put it into certain mapping programs and then really unleash the power. If you really want to take your mapping to the next level, you take these mosaics, you export them, put them into Google Earth, you draw paths around all the good stuff. And as I'm talking here, you're going to see in the background how I really dissect a map and really highlight all the key stuff on it. The cool thing is once you're done with this in Google Earth, you can export it to a memory card. You can then put it in your Humminbird unit, import it, change the color of your paths so they match. For example, I might make all my sunfish bed colonies orange, all the big rocks circled in blue, might outline the sand spots in a different color, and all of a sudden you're driving over this area or up to it, you know exactly the layout of it. Having all these paths on your screen also helps just to remember where everything's at. You might be fishing those rocks at the end and you're kind of forgetting about maybe trying some of the gravel patches or that there's a few more big rocks over on the left. You have waypoints, but again, if you have 50 waypoints on your screen, it's a mess. I mean, it's really easy in the heat of the action to remember where every single thing is at. With these color mappings on your screen, very easy not to forget anything. And one spot can make or break a day so often. Technically, this entire map is a sweet spot. But if you really want to break it down, some of the favorite areas that I've found over the years of fishing it are these. On the very end of this, there's a clump of big rock. The perfect spot for fish. There's not too many rock. It's on the very end of the structure. It's heading right out to deep water. It's a perfect spot to hold a big fish or two. If you move up a little ways, you run into a bunch of coontail clumps. This is awesome cover for bait fish, sunfish, perch, all those smaller food items to hide. Those big game fish are always around this area because it's got a food source. A little past the weeds, you have a nice rock ledge. It's just beautiful. It comes right off the flat and drops right into deep water. Just a vertical drop. You can see the shade on there, how fast the drop is. Those fish can sit up high in that 5 to 7 foot of water. They can suspend right next to that vertical cliff or rock, or they can just go lay out in the bottom in that deep water right off the edge, waiting for themselves to be active for feeding, and then just pull right up shallow and feed. This is another prime example of an area that is good for all of our open water seasons. There's shallow, hard bottom areas for the spring. There's deep, fast dropping areas in the post spawn and in the summer. And in the fall, they can chase fish in the dying off weed clumps, and they can move out to deep water if they want to. They have everything they need to stay from spring until late fall. This spot has way too much to offer to be able to fish it really fast and determine if the fish are using it. So you want to hit those key spots. And if you jump on those spots and just try them for a few minutes, you get to find out really quick if the fish are using this area. 5 to 10 casts on those big rocks at the end. You can throw something over the tops of those weeds quick. You can go and drop a jig down and work the edge of that rock ledge. You can pull up and throw swim jigs or spinner baits right over the top of those bluegill beds. Very easy to cover it and key on it to find where those fish are at. They might only be using one of those areas on that day, or they might be all over just because there's that many fish up on a spot. But you don't know till you try. So the best thing to do, put the trolling motor down, use your mapping that you made, and really cover it good. How easy is it to study a map of a spot when you can see the entire area on your screen and really dissect it and look at it? Thanks for watching episode 3. Stay tuned for next episode when we break down another piece of structure.